What's up, everybody? Ponylover1989 here, and in here with me is my kitten Tyrion. And anyway, I can't bring him back to the kitchen because of my aunt's dog, because she might try and attack and kill my kitten, so that's why I had to leave Tyrion in the bedroom so I could protect him and play with him. Anyway, for a bunch of viewers who watch my videos don't know what Pokemon is about, I'm gonna tell you anyway, despite being curious and concerned what this franchise is. Pokemon is an overarching media franchise that is owned by game companies Nintendo, Creatures Inc., and Game Freak. It first appeared in 1996 with the first entries for the first Game Boy. The game series since inspired an array of media, including an anime TV show, trading card game, numerous manga, and various spin-off games. The franchise focuses on strange and mysterious creatures known as Pokemon, as well as their inhabited world full of legends, tales, and adventures. Several interpretations of the world explore different themes and elements. Most commonly, they coexist with humans and can be caught, trained, and used in battles and other activities. Traders, along with their Pokemon, travel across diverse lands, aiming to make their dreams become reality. The bond and friendship, love, and trust between the trader and Pokemon is often cited to the key to their success. It was notable as the highest grossing media franchise of all time, outselling other series such as Star Wars, Mario, My Little Pony, Transformers, and Sonic, and many other franchises. How did Pokemon came to be? Well, it started with the creator, Satoshi Tajiri, who was once a little child, had a fondness to collecting insects and tadpoles near his home in the suburban Tokyo, Japan. Over time, he decided to put his idea of catching creatures into practice and give children the same thrills he had when he was a child. With the help of Ken Sugimori and the other workers, Tajiri formed Game Freak, and much later, the design studio known as Creatures. When Tajiri discovered the Game Boy and the Game Link cable, it gave him the idea, image of insects traveling through the wire, which is the discovery of trading. Tajiri was also influenced by the live-action Sentai TV show Ultraman, Ultra 7, where the protagonist used giant monsters contained within small capsules to help in battle. Together, these sources gave the idea for a new game called Capsule Monsters. But after several failed attempts and pitching the idea to Nintendo, Tajiri's new friend Shigeru Miyamoto pitched it to the company. Shigeru Miyamoto is the creator of the Super Mario series, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid, and many other game franchises of Nintendo. And Nintendo began to fund the project, spending 6 years developing these games that would become a worldwide sensation. Due to trademark issues, they changed the name Capsule Monsters into Pocket Monsters. The original artwork for the video games was drawn by Tajiri's friend and artist Ken Sugimori, while the music and the sound effects were composed by Junichi Masuda. After debugging was completed, Shigeki Morimoto programmed the last Pokemon into the game, Mew. However, Game Freak planned to keep this one a secret from the public until it was needed for the post-launch event. The project nearly drove Game Freak to bankruptcy, and 5 employees quit due to financial problems, and Tajiri worked many unpaid hours. The first video games that came out in Japan were the Pocket Monsters Red and Green versions that came to Game Boy in Japan from February 27, 1996, which was a fulfillment of Satoshi Tajiri's dream, which allowed people of all ages, children and adults, to capture, train, and battle, and trade 151 creatures and become the very best like no one ever was. Initially, the games had the modest sales. However, after the players discovered Mew in the games, magazine Kuro Kuro announced a legendary Pokemon offer to distribute the character to the 20 entrants. The contest received 78,000 entrants, and the sales of Pokemon games quickly increased. Due to very high sales, Red and Green were followed with a sequel called Blue version, which had improved graphics and sounds. And after the games were released, they made a Pokemon trading card game. It was developed by a media factory with its own set of rules. The first set of cards with different kinds of creatures were released on October 20th, 1996, containing 102 cards and become quite popular. Also, the franchise got many manga adaptations, the first being Pocket Monsters by Kosaku Anokuba, which first collected and published in November 1996 by Shogakukan. It was chiefly a gag series manga using crude humor and slapstick, starring a trainer named Red and his talking rude Clefairy. The popularity of the games finally led into an anime series based on the games, premiered in April 1st, 1997, April Fool's Day. The character was a young boy named Satoshi, named after the creator of Pokemon, Satoshi Tajiri, who was then later dubbed in English as Ash Ketchum, based on the design of Trainer Red. And another character introduced in the episode of the first was Shigeru, his rival, named after Shigeru Miyamoto, and then later dubbed into English as Gary Oak, which is based on his rival Trainer Blue. The anime became very popular, and soon a manga series based on it called The Electric Tale of Pikachu was written by Toshihiro Ono. The first volume was published in October 28, 1997, and the most famous manga in the Western world, however, was Pokebot Adventures, another manga series that the first volume was published in August 8, 1997. It was one of the most successful manga with 150,000 copies sold worldwide, and also the longest running manga in the Pokemon history based on the starting date. Several other manga adaptations were published in that era, including Pokemon Zensho and Miho Asada's Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All. In addition to the series, Shogakukan also published a first volume of this series, Pokemon Wonderland Magazine. The latest information on the franchise on August 23rd of 1997. They also released a manga series that is aimed towards little girls called Pokemon PPP Adventures, which was dubbed by Viz Media Magical Pokemon Journey. It was written and illustrated by Yumi Tsukirino on March 28, 1998. And on April 25th, 1998, the first store opened in Tokyo called Pokemon Center, which specializes many Pokemon merchandise, from action figures to Pokemon trading cards, video games, and a bunch of anime, VHS and DVDs, and shirts, and other accessories. Along the way, the Pokemon Company began operation. Many stores were open in later years, and today there were 6 different stores across Japan, as well as a subsection in the Nintendo World Store in New York City in the US. Due to Pokemon becoming a success in Japan, the series was released overseas. And before the games were even coming to the US, the localization team tried to attempt to change the designs fearing that the cute designs would not appeal to the Western gamers. However, the proposal was refused. On the other hand, Nintendo originally did not intend to allow for localized Pokemon names due to having registered more trademarks, but were eventually convinced by the French translation team to do so. The US received Pokemon Red and Blue versions, as well as the anime TV show in September 1998, the anime on September 7th, and the video games from September 28, 1998. And soon everywhere else began to play the games on Game Boy under the slogan, "Gotta catch 'em all." The trading card game was released to the US on January 9th, 1999 by Wizards of the Coast. The Electric Tale of Pikachu became the first manga to be translated in English by Viz Media when they started publishing it in September 28, 1999. Meanwhile, in Japan, a new spin-off game called Pokemon Stadium was released for the N64. The game featured only 42 of the original 151. It proved to be a commercially critically unsuccessful, though the sequel, originally planned for the Nintendo 64 DD, received an international release. And the anime, on the other hand, pushed the franchise to new heights. On July 18, 1998 in Japan, Mewtwo Strikes Back, the first movie in Japanese theaters featuring the rare Mew and legendary Mewtwo. The movie was released in theaters November 10, 1999, and even briefly held the record for highest grossing opening for an animated movie. Plans soon started to follow for the game based on a popular anime TV show, and the yellow version was released in Japan September 12, 1998. It came to the US October 25, 1999, in the US and in Europe. Pokebot Yellow allowed trainers to play the role as Ash and travel through the Kanto region with anime-styled graphics for each of the pixelated Pokemon, and Pikachu following around as the starter of the game, following the anime's course of the events. On December 18, 1988, a Game Boy game based on the trading card game was released, later arriving to April 10, 2000. It was followed in Japan a year later by the sequel, Pokemon Card GB2 Here Comes Team GR. It never came to the US. The anime, as well as the yellow version, marked Pikachu as the most recognizable and popular creatures in Pokemon history, turning it into the franchise's mascot. This led to a small spin-off game called Hey You Pikachu, which was released in Japan December 12, 1998, and in the US November 6, 2000. It was a virtual pet game utilizing the Nintendo 64's voice recognition unit, which allows players to interact verbally and talk to Pikachu. And when the anime finished the game's story with Ash's defeat in Pokemon League in January 1999, they started off with a new season and a new region called the Orange Archipelago, introducing the new character Tracy Sketchit, who takes Brock's place. And during the season's time, the second movie, The Power of One, was released. It was first in Japanese theaters in July 17, 1999, and released in theaters in the US July 21, 2000. A non-traditional spin-off game for the N64, Pokemon Snap, was released in March 21, 1999, inviting the player who played the role as Todd Snap to a photographing mission to a place called Pokemon Island, where they take pictures of Pokemon. The game made its way to the US in July 27, 1999. And on April 14, 1999, a spin-off pinball game for the Game Boy Color was released called Pokemon Pinball. The gameplay took mechanics of a regular pinball game with some Pokemon aspects added to the game. It was released in the US June 28, 1999. A sequel, Pokemon Stadium, was eventually released in April 30th, 1999 and became a success. The game made its way to the US in February 29, 2000 and became known as the original Pokemon Stadium. The first series of the Stadium series allows people to battle with Pokemon in 3D.